Recently, the NASCAR Gamer YouTube channel has kind of been a little bit struggling. Since coming back on holiday, it's kind of been a bit slow and a bit hard to make videos because I've run out a bit of ideas. So I decided to look back and go back to one of the challenge ideas I had about 5 months ago, which got quite popular, and I decided to go on and make a sequel. And it will be, if I crash at any point in any of the games selected, the game changes, as you might remember. Wow, what better way to start the challenge with the game that is almost as bad as Ignition, NASCAR 8. We'll be attempting a wreck avoidance challenge, and like last time, the physics are going to be so weird. So all we need to do is simply avoid a wreck. Sounds like a piece of cake, right? Well, not exactly with these forms of physics. I could listen to this all day. Great music in a bad game. Alright, we're here at Texas, so let's do this. Let's give it a shot as we now start the back of this very small field, and despite the small field, and me almost immediately after starting, the field's going to involve in a massive pile-off, and Brian Vickers is going to turn us, he's going to crash into us, and for us, that is the challenge over. I mean, no one is safe in this game, no one's safe with Red Bull on the track. If I'm completely honest with you guys, not the greatest start to the challenge, but don't worry, there's 9 more games to try out, so hopefully the tables will turn for us. I mean, now we finally get told that we failed the challenge, thanks game. But before moving on, we just need to have a quick little replay to see what we just seen. And the crash physics, like I just said, they're weird, but they are funny, but they're just broken. I mean, look at Ricky Rudd right here. For the second time in a row, he goes flying. I mean, he's so unlucky in the Snickers car. I just think he needs his Type-Mobile back, but still, bad game, bad crash physics, let's move on. Second on the list is NASCAR 09, the final proper EA Sports NASCAR game ever made. Now the game looks nice and it honestly isn't too bad, but sadly like NASCAR 08, the game has weird wacky physics that kind of take this game out of this world because of the broken physics and the glitches, and it's bad because it ruins the game. So once again, we'll be taking on a wreck avoidance challenge, so the very best of luck. Now the wreck may not be too hard to avoid since Watkins Glen is a road course, but don't jinx it, and it's a good thing I haven't jinxed it as they immediately wreck going into my path, but I think we're safe as they go bowling at the Glen into turn number 1. We make it through unscathed so far, and I think we're going to be okay as now they wreck behind us. No, we're not okay. We go through scathed, and unfortunately, we ruined the challenge. Look at this. It looks all fine and promising until I had to look away for a moment for some reason, and I end up rear-ending David Reagan. I mean, it looks all fine and happy until all of a sudden you look back, and then we end up rear-ending David in the back. Just take this as a lesson, guys. Now the third game will be NASCAR 09 for the PS2 at Watkins Glen, and there's a special reason why. Because there's a specific glitch in career mode where if you make your car fast and pass all the gold medals for the lap time before you start your career mode, something funny happens. As so far, no problem so far into the first corner, and all of a sudden the yellow flag's out for some reason. Oh my goodness, everyone's doing the glitch I'm talking about. Stay focused, Kyle, do not wreck the car, please. If I'm honest with you guys, I'm a little nervous about how turn 1 will go in this restart, and oh my goodness, I have a reason to. Everyone's literally wrecking, oh my goodness, oh my lord, can we at least make it through? And we do, just barely, whilst everyone else doesn't. This looks like everyone when the PS6 comes out in the nearby future, and this looks like what NASCAR will be like when they use rain tyres on road courses. But hey, at least we passed the challenge. So this is me after the race. My teammate comes up to me asking me what had just happened. I'm like, hey man, did you see what just happened out there? Now it's time for NASCAR 06 Total T Control. This game's feature is being able to work and switch with your teammates, so let's use that to our advantage. We are going to switch to our teammate before we head into a pack, where we are now going to cause the big one, and now it is our task to dodge the big one and try not to get wrecked, so we can actually get involved in this challenge. And so far, everyone's literally getting wrecked, and we're gonna just barely make it through, are we? As long as we don't spin out, we're all fine, and I believe we got it. What a close, crazy save, but I'm not entirely sure because I did get caught up in it, so I'm gonna retry. The crowd's on their feet to see Junebug about to obliterate the entire field. And I changed too late, and Junior is on top of me. Get off of me. And we have lost this challenge. And oh my goodness. Oh no, we're sideways. We're in front of the pack. And oh my goodness, this is a massive crash at Daytona. We are done. We have killed the car. I'm sorry everyone, I'll give you all my insurance later on. But let me leave the game first so I don't have to bother giving you any money. See ya. The challenge is only going to get harder as now we have NASCAR The Game 2011. This is the elimination mode where you need to finish first before the timer runs out. But that doesn't mean there's any rules or flags, and since the AI don't slow down in this game, any crash will be mayhem. And I chose Bristol specifically, and trust me, you're going to know why. The 30 car will be our sacrifice for this challenge, for this project to work. Thank you very much for being our volunteer. Thank you very much. Give me a round of applause. And now we're going to have to see what's going to happen when the leaders come into turn number 3. As we now have a look at the map, and Jeff Gordon's going to lead the entire field into the crash zone. And I don't feel safe so far. Half the field makes it through, but I don't think they are. No, they're wrecking. Oh my goodness, we have the big pile up in turn number 3. And as long as we don't go down pit road and get spun out, we are all good. And I've somehow navigated my way past that. And the reason why I said don't go down pit road, because if you do, you get eliminated in this mode, which obviously will count to failing the challenge. Easy on the brakes. Alright, we're going to have to brake harder. We're not slowing down. And oh no, we're going to go into Marcus Ambrose. And we're going to get him into orbit. And unfortunately, the challenge is over for us. And Tony Stewart, Tony the Tiger, what are you doing? Get off me. Unfortunately, we are done for this challenge for this game, but I'm only going to carry on just for the crashes and for the excitement it brings. Since we don't need to worry about crashing anymore, we're going to go full throttle into turn number 3, and Jimmy Johnson, he goes for a moon jump. He literally gets air, and oh my goodness, the remainder of the field now gets involved in this big pile up in turn number 3 once again. Let's avoid pit road. And Martin Truex Jr. goes for a barrel roll. And I bet you from this point on, Bristol's going to have full seats for the crowds from this point on. Well, it was a fun round while it lasted. And Tony Stewart, what are you doing? Once again, what are you doing? And he just literally came and took me out. And because of him, we're going to end this in some style. We're going to cause the big one to end this round. And unfortunately, we're not going to get the points anyway, but oh my goodness, we got 2 drivers upside down, Jeff Burton and I believe that is David Reagan. And wow, I mean, I like this mode more than anything about the game because it's quite funny and quite fun. And let's move on. We are going to get one final yeehaw from this game as we now get Jimmy Johnson some air once again, and Tony Stewart decides to crowd surf once again. Of course he does. Now, NASCAR The Game Inside Line don't have any crash avoidance challenges, but the challenges involve the AI being extremely aggressive and quite hard to beat, so I figured that if we get turned by this, it would count. We got a run on Matt Kenseth, and we're going to the inside. We almost get turned by our teammate as we make a move, and Junebug, don't you dare try and turn me. I mean it, Junior, back off. And thank you very much. He dented the back of the car, but we're now coming back on the inside, and we're side by side with Matt Kenseth. We got this in the banks, and oh, he's going to turn us in front of the field, and no, our teammate ditched us. Sorry, Matt Kenseth fans, but if Matt's in the field, take this, Matt. And oh my goodness, we're going absolutely flying, and it's the big one at Daytona. The point was to try and wreck Matt Kenseth out of retaliation and annoyance, and I think he went by, so that means we're going to have to do this again. I think Matt's in this pack right here, and I literally destroyed them, and oh my goodness, we have cars flying again in another big one. I see you, Matt Kenseth. Don't you start running from me. We have some beef to settle after what you did to me last time in the 500. Okay, target is locked. Let's now ditch him. Let's dump him and turn him around in the same area. And oh, we're going to have a barbecue. Well, it's okay because he's not invited to the party. Up next is Project Cars 2, and for this one we're here at Daytona, but we got a few sneaky surprises on their way in this race. So far the outside lane's got the advantage over us, as now we're going to try and get a run to go side by side between them for first place. And oh, we got a huge crash back in the field, and that was not caused by me.
Tell you this, but there is a major downpour expected in the next few minutes.
Hey, no one told me Daytona was in Britain. Whilst trying to defend the lead as potential rain was coming, we had a lap car not focusing on where they were going, and they were going to attempt to LePage the entire field. Thankfully, we dodged them. And instead of throwing a yellow flag, NASCAR decided to keep the race going because they didn't learn their lessons from last year, and I could tell something was going to happen because it just did not feel right. In turn number 4, the car felt extremely understeery. It slid up into the wall, and that's when I realised I needed to change the tyres from slicks to wets. So I came down pit road, I slowed down the tiniest bit, and then all of a sudden the car just turned and it almost went around. And right now I have no control of the car. I'm trying to get it back on the racetrack, but unfortunately we go for a spin, and sadly Mother Nature's roll of the dice means that now we have lost another game. The only good thing is that we at least know what caused the big one earlier, and it turns out AIs in this game really aren't that smart. And yeah, I thought NASCAR AIs were pretty dumb. Once again, why are there 300 laps? NASCAR don't do 300 laps around Pocono. That's right, we're now in another challenge here in NASCAR Heat 3 at Pocono, where there's going to be a big crash in turn number 1 and going into turn number 2, and the car's extremely loose, and all we can do is just try to avoid the big one. And all of a sudden, we just barely got by Kyle Larson, and Denny Hamlin's going to go absolutely flying over us, and thankfully he didn't land on us and crippled the car. So far, that was pretty lucky right there. And AJ Allmendinger's going to ruin our luck, and he's going to turn into us, and that's going to get us involved in a wreck. And of course, AJ Allmendinger had to do that. Thanks a lot, game. This is what you deserve. I'm not happy with this game, and I've lost complete respect for it. Before we carry on, I just thought I'd mention that this challenge is incredibly hard. The game wants you to avoid 4 wrecks within 2 laps, and it wants you to go from dead last to first place. Let's give it our best shot. Very nice of the game to let us start in dead last place instead of, I don't know, putting us mid-pack to giving us a good time, as the car is like a Tokyo Drift car. I mean, seriously, we're trying to avoid a wreck, and if anything, we're going to cause a wreck before the first crash occurs, which is occurring right in front of us, and oh my goodness, Daniel Hemrick goes flying into the catch fence, but we slowed down, but we avoided the wreck. Things have been quite easy so far, but that's because we took it really slow, and unfortunately we're behind in the field, and there's another wreck in front of us. We're going to just barely get by, and once again we're going to use the drifting techniques once again. Just to let you guys know, this is the first time I've done this challenge, so I'm just going to take it easy. I know we're not going to win anyway because we're far behind from first, but as long as we try and avoid the wrecks, that's the main thing. Jesus, Daniel Suarez tried to take us out. We avoided the turn 4 pile up, and the next thing you know, we're now going to finish in 15th place. I mean, I'll take it. I mean, I know it's not the dub, but I'm definitely going to take it, and we're going to move on. Our second to last game will be NASCAR Heat 5, but get this, online, not offline. I mean, what am I doing? What was I thinking when I planned this out? There's no way we're going to make it to the finish without a total car online. Oh, guy on the outside lane, don't you dare come down low. We're right here, and we're going to get by just barely. And the guy on the outside lane right now, we're going to gain 2 positions in 1 move. And so far, this has been quite a good start. We got a run building, and we're going to use it to our advantage, as the guy on the outside lane's now side by side, and he's going to push us below the yellow line. But we're still there, and he's still there, and he's going to still push us below the yellow line. Here he comes again. He's going to push us below the yellow line. He's literally not happy at us. So that is it, and we're going to go wide, and we're going to end up putting him in the wall because he was there. This wasn't intentional, but my goodness, he deserves it for pushing against me. Uh-oh, troller alert, and thankfully go to the inside lane, so we're all fine and we don't have to avoid any wreck. There's the troller again, and he's going to attempt to wreck us, I believe. Yes, he does, but he fails. Hey, there's troller, as he's now going to try and wreck us again. We're going to do the crossover, and he's going to try and wreck the guy behind us, but if anything, he's going to wreck himself. Nice try. Does third time the charm work? And I believe not, and he doesn't work because he failed miserably once again. And it is official that we have passed the challenge for NASCAR Heat 5, which I thought was not possible. This game is even worse than NASCAR Heat 5. It's battles after a really good start. Sorry about that, me. And this one's even just as bad as NASCAR Heat 5 because there are a bunch of people that like to wreck others. So it's going to be brutal towards this challenge. Let's just see how we do, and hopefully we can win. We're in the lead, but the 17 car is going to come up low, and thankfully there's 2 cars there to defend us, and oh my goodness, things are getting dicey right now. I don't like the looks of this, as there's a wall now coming, and oh no, here we go. Oh, how did we save that? For a moment, I genuinely thought we were done for. What a close call. That's it, I'm not going aggressive for now. I'm going to take it easy, I'm going to tuck behind this guy, and we're going to kind of tend and draft away from the field. Here comes the 12. Oh no, here comes the rest of the field. They've really caught up, and oh, we're almost going to get turned off the 23 car. And we're being pinned against the outside wall. This is crazy. We're side by side for the lead. And wait a minute, what's the grey car doing? Is he seriously wrecking me against the wall? What did I ever do to him? Let's ignore the grey car, push the 9MT1 car, and he's trying to wreck me. I mean, seriously, that is officially, he's trying to wreck me. What did I do to him? Okay, buddy, you've got a serious problem with me. You've gone too far. 3 strikes and you're out. Oh yeah, see you later, you fool. Remember that. it would be cool if we can get the dub. We're getting a huge run. We're coming in 4 wide in the middle. Here we come. We're going to win. Yes, we're going to get the win. We're going to get the dub in our first attempt. And just like that, we have won the challenge here in Roblox's very own Battles Racing. And I cannot believe this is possible, that we did it without wrecking. And if you enjoyed this video, leave a like and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any future videos just like this. And I'll see you all in the next one.